Today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in Darkest Night 2nd Edition. I've only played this once, I haven't played the 1st edition, so I can't speak to that. But I can say that I was really impressed by the sheer amount of variety and replayability in this cooperative game. There are huge decks of cards of stuff where, like artifacts, we saw like 3 artifacts in our game, but there's a deck of, it looked like 100 cards. There are 26 playable characters, each of which have their own deck of cards. There's just a ton of stuff in this game. I was really impressed by that. That's not a mechanism, but I was impressed by it. I have 2 mechanisms I want to discuss a little bit. One is so simple, but I really liked it, so I wanted to mention it. And it's that in this game, there are all these monsters that you're going to be interacting with during the game. You're moving around this board, you're fighting monsters, you're trying to escape from monsters, and you're eventually fighting the necromancer. And so all this stuff can hurt you. But, really clever design choice, there's a part of the board that's just safe. It's the Monastery. It's a safe zone. You can go there and not worry about anything. I think there's a point at the end of the game, we didn't get to this point, but there's a point at the end of the game where stuff can start invading the monastery, but for most of the game, it is perfectly safe. So if you ever feel like you're getting low on health, or you need to revive yourself a little bit, you need to rest up, the monastery is the place to go. And I really like this aspect in a cooperative game, the type of cooperative game where a lot of bad stuff happens to you, where the game is actively fighting against you. It's kind of nice to have a place where you can just go and relax for a minute, and know that your character is safe and feel at peace for a moment. It's just nice. So I really like that the monastery is in this game, and I think it's a really cool choice to make for a cooperative game, this type of cooperative game, to give players the sense of safety if they want it. And also, you can do some stuff in that space that advances you in the game. I think you can rest. You can like recharge yourself in a certain way. And there's something else that you can do that I'm forgetting that you can just do without worrying about all the other bad stuff that's happening. The other element I wanted to mention is I love when time is used as a resource in games. I know I've talked about this a lot, but I saw it used in a new way in this game that I thought was really cool. I hope I use the right terminology here. But at certain points in the game, you'll put out these, I think they are quests. I think they're called quests in the game. They go on a certain location, and it basically says, hey, this thing is happening, and every round you're going to put a time token on this thing, and if you've dealt with this thing before it fills up with time tokens, then you get this reward. But if you haven't dealt with it by the time it's full of time tokens, this bad thing happens. I really like this use of time as a mechanism and just events in general. I don't like when events happen to you and right away you have to deal with them and you have no chance to plan for them. Sometimes that can be fun, I'll say that. But in this case, in many cases, I like when you actually can see it coming a little bit, when this thing is in progress, this event is in progress, and you have an opportunity to not only address it, but also get benefits out of addressing it. Or you can say, okay, we'll make a decision about this later, or it's not a big deal, so we'll just let it run its course. Like you can see the bad thing coming, which is really nice. And it's just a simple system. You just put another time token on it every round to show that time is advancing, that more time has passed. And oftentimes with these cards, there was a strong thematic connection to why more time mattered for it. Like it might have been just making this up, but like it might be a monster that's like working out and getting more and more powerful. And so if you deal with it early on, you can just deal with the monster and maybe you earn the treasure from the monster, you get the monster's sword. But if you wait too long, the monster is now really powerful and you actually have to fight the monster. So really cool time mechanism in this game, really simple to implement and to use. So that and the monastery is the safe zone I thought were pretty cool mechanisms in this game. If you have a favorite mechanism in Darkest Night that you want to talk about, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Or if you have other games that have like a safe zone or that use time as a mechanism, especially in terms of like quests or events, I'd love to hear about that in the comments as well. Thanks.